Helen Yee here in Miami. Always great to be joined by the one and only, the always entertaining, and the fan favorite, Mr. Michael Chandler. Always great to see you.
You as well. I'm happy to be here in Miami. Can't wait to watch the fights. I was at the press conference. They were going crazy. So if that's any indication, the fights are going to be bananas.
Well, even here down the street, I've seen all these fans line up for you, so they're going crazy for you.
Yeah, it's a huge blessing. It really is. I mean, everybody knows where, my career path, right, and spending time outside of the UFC, fighting in Bellator for all those years. Everything has just continued to grow and grow and grow, and I was born for a time such as this and a platform such as this, and I'm just enjoying it.
Definitely. And speaking of enjoying it, I know that once in a while you like to enjoy some emo music, right?
I do, yeah. I actually, I was on an emo kick and I started tweeting about it, and I just started going back and forth with all these people. And I found this new artist called Sadsquatch. So it's like Sadsquatch with a D. Sadsquatch. And I found it. It was like some random album I found, and I was just like listening. So I was sending it out to a bunch of people, and they were sending all their stuff in. Everybody. I'm not the biggest emo guy, right? But we all went through an emo phase.
We did.
And it doesn't matter. You can't outgrow it. Like right now, if I hear Taking Back Sunday, I can freaking get it. You get after it. It takes you back. So love it.
Make damn sure.
Make damn sure. Wait, which one is that? What's up? Which one was that one?
You've got this new head filled up with smoke. I suck at singing.
Lipstick is color, don't bother Rachel. That one. That was my favorite one.
Now I'm flipping you off. You got me emo.
Yeah, I guess she's flipping everybody off over here.
So emo music, it's great, but I know that you won't be listening to it anymore because Conor McGregor, it looks like International Fight Week, right?
It looks like things are coming together, right? So it's, that's what I've been planning on. That's what I am planning on. For a while we were talking about UFC 300. As I've said in the past, nobody understands what the brass that the UFC has to handle with all of these different intricacies of all these different fights, and then that's if everybody gets to the fight healthy and then they're able to come to an agreement. So it's been a long process, but it really only has been a year, right? It's not, people think it's been 2 years, but that's what I to toot my own horn for a second, that's what it feels like to the people who love to watch me fight. I bring something different, something violent, something faster paced than people are used to seeing. So every weekend that I'm not fighting feels like another month and another month. So it feels like it's been 3 years, but it's only been a little over a year since I fought. So it's been enjoyable, and I'm enjoying a little bit of time off because I needed a little time to rest anyway. And you're going to see the coiling of the spring and the culmination of all this patience that I've been practicing for the last year whenever I do go out there and knock Conor out.
Yeah, and speaking of knocking Conor out, would that be the only way that you'll be satisfied after fighting him?
Yeah, I just want to finish him no matter what. I could go out there and finish him with the first punch, or it could be a 5-round knockdown, drag-out war, or go out there and just break his will. I don't see this fight going further than 2 or 3 rounds. I think from the first exchange, from the first time I get my hands on him, from the first time I hit him, the first time he feels my speed and my power, I just think he's going to be on his back foot. He's going to start second guessing himself, and he's going to ultimately head toward the destination that he is, the bed that he has made, which is he hasn't been taking it as seriously as I have. Honestly, I don't think anybody in this sport does. There's very few people that I would say match my intensity, my attention to detail, my discipline, and definitely not him. So either way, it's going to be an honor to fight him. I can say that I want to go out there and absolutely dismantle him in a violent manner, but I also have a ton of respect for him. If you don't have a lot of respect for Conor, if you don't understand what he has done for this sport, for himself, and the couch and the welfare that he pulled himself out of to be where he is today, then you just don't deserve to watch us on the weekend, right? So it'll be fun, it'll be huge, and it's going to be a blast. But as I said, I feel like I was born for a time and an opportunity such as this, and I'm going to go out there and let it be known and put an exclamation mark on it.
Well, not only are you a great fighter, but a great businessman as well, and great on the mic, especially in WWE. So could we see a WWE career from you post-UFC?
I don't think I would be your guy who would be there week in and week out. I don't know if that's in the cards for me, but I enjoyed it in Anaheim. It was electric, and I went there and got on the mic and screamed, and the veins were popping out. Shirt came off. I don't even know how the shirt came off. I blacked out, but everybody loved it. It was fun. had a meeting with Triple H, had a meeting with one of the other CEOs or one of the other C-suites there in WWE, and they like what they saw. I enjoyed the process. Some phone calls and some talks are being had right now. So, we got WrestleMania coming up in a couple weeks. So you might just see your boy in Philly. We'll see.
Nice. And is that what Triple H said to you, that he kind of liked your promo?
He didn't say he liked it. He said he absolutely loved it. So much so that my number was shared, and all of a sudden I get a text message from Triple H saying, "Hey, you absolutely killed it. Can we meet later?" And I was like, "Absolutely. Tell me where to meet you." And we met and hung out. And I mean, Triple H he's a guy that I watched growing up in wrestling.
Me too. DX fan?
Yeah, DX, man. So it was all of those guys that we grew up on, and now to see him at the helm of the WWE is cool. It was fun, it was exciting, and it's a different it gives me an opportunity to show a different side of me as well, and I enjoyed it. Everybody knows I love to hop on the mic and scream and say, and my mic skills, people call it. I call it a natural gift that I worked on a little bit, and it's been enjoyable.
Well, it definitely has paid off. But someone else who may also be fighting this summer, Islam, who do you think that he'll be fighting next?
Man, tough, right? So you got Gaethje for the BMF title. Obviously, we know his name is in the mix, right? You got Poirier fighting this weekend. Yeah. His name is in the mix. You got obviously Charles. Charles fights at 300. I mean, it's tough because you got Charles would be a rematch. Poirier needs a shot at him, but I think Gaethje, if I had it my way, I think Gaethje fights him. I think Gaethje goes out there, gets the job done against Max Holloway, and you see him versus Islam. Obviously for me, there's some interesting stuff going on there. For me, I believe I bring a different set of skills to the Islam fight than anybody else does. I need to go out there and earn it by beating Conor and putting my name in that hat. But I would love to see Gaethje hold a title. He's one of the hard workers. He's one of those, he and I are cut from the same cloth, and you saw it when we fought each other and tried to kill each other. Small town, blue collar wrestlers, and now we, somehow are here at the top of the food chain in the UFC. So I don't know how it all plays out, but it'll be one of those three guys, I believe. Or myself. I mean, I think the biggest fight out of all of those is me versus Conor, and the platform that we're going to have, the eyeballs that we're going to have, the performance that I'm going to put on. I mean, people can act like 1 year off or a year and a half off is a bad thing because of ring rust, but sometimes we are a victim to our own grind, right? When you're going from training camp to having a month or two off to back to another training camp to another 1 month off, still nursing injuries from the previous fight, and then going into another training camp and never letting your body heal, there is a little bit of point of diminishing returns when it comes to the training and the grind of it. So having a year off has given me so much more clarity in my mind, my heart, my love for the sport, the passion for the sport. Sometimes, as cliche as it is, you never know how much you love something until it's kind of taken away, right? So the sport hasn't been taken away from me. I've been in the spotlight, the Ultimate Fighter, and then the Ultimate Fighter came out, and then coming to the UFC fights and being in the public eye and doing things, but I haven't been in a hard grind training camp now for a year, and I'm itching. This is the first time in a very long time that I'm itching to get back into a training camp where there's this big opportunity that scares the death out of you, and you go to bed every night thinking about it. The first thing you wake up in the morning is what you think about. So I'm excited for that, and I think it's going to bring something out of me and well something up in me for this great opportunity. And with that performance, I believe people are going to see something, and I wouldn't be surprised if me and Islam share the cage this year.
And I know all your fans are counting down, but lastly, your Iron Mike, another Iron Mike, is about to come out and fight at 57 years young. Mike Tyson, what do you make of that whole Mike Tyson-Jake Paul?
I tell you what, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it just happened, as of this interview, it just happened a day or two. Was it yesterday?
Yesterday.
Right, so it just happened a day ago. Everyone's trying to digest it, and they're thinking about all the different, the spider web of what is going on here. And you're like, okay, is it Jake Paul a genius for fighting a almost 60-year-old, or is it like, wait, it's still Mike Tyson? I heard Tyron Woodley say, like, Mike Tyson could knock people out just based on muscle memory. He could like trip over a cord and somehow knock somebody out just because he's a human weapon. So it's still a dangerous fight no matter what age Mike Tyson is. I mean, imagine Mike Tyson goes out there and knocks out Jake Paul, right? I mean, imagine, because that hand lands his left hook or his body shot lands, he's putting anybody down. He's putting a rhinoceros down if he walks into this place right now. So it's a dangerous fight when you're matched up against Mike Tyson. But Jake Paul needs to stop being disrespected so much on a skill level. He's big, he's strong, he's athletic, he's fast. He's not world champion caliber boxer like he claims he is. But it's kind of like what people used to say about Conor, or I used to say about Conor. He's not as good as he thinks he is, but he's better than we all think he is. And I think that's very similar to Jake Paul. Now, it's going to be interesting to see, and it's going to be an absolute freaking circus. But it is free on Netflix, so it's going to be a hugely viewed event.
But I know what else is going to be hugely viewed. You versus Conor McGregor. Hopefully we'll see it go down International Fight Week. So for the fans who are counting down, who love you and who miss you, what would you like to let them know?
Man, I just love you guys. For those of you who have been patiently waiting, I appreciate y'all. And it's been a decision and a process and a season of patience for me. But it's gonna culminate with something beautiful, masterful, and yeah, when we go out there and we finish Conor the way that we're gonna finish him, the sky's the limit. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So thank y'all, appreciate y'all, and see you at the top. Your lipstick is colored, don't bother, Rachel.